Today is day 47 on my 100 days of gratitude. Today's been a rough one for whatever reason. I didn't get to sleep until maybe 6 o'clock this morning and only slept for 3.5 hours for whatever reason. So when I woke up, I was awake and got up, and I just have not felt well at all. It's hard on these days. It kind of throws me back to the days in chemo, which is hard because I'm looking back, which is difficult, and I also know what's coming for me. And when this clinical trial stops working, which it's not giving me any indication that it is, but it will. And again, please don't take that as negativity. It's very, very difficult for a cancer patient to balance being hopeful and being realistic. And Keith and I are the ones who go to those appointments, and, you know, we're told, like, my oncologist goes to Rwanda, I think 2 or 3 times a year. And she said, if you lived there, you would not be here right now. Like, that's pretty sobering. So it's tough when people say, you know, have faith in God and believe in miracles. And I have hope. Please don't think that I don't, but I'm the one who's getting poked and prodded and I'm the one who goes to a CT scan, and I'm the one who sees that my body's riddled with cancer, and I'm the one who, a medical professional who is an expert in cancer, is telling me that this is what's going to kill me. So please don't take that as negativity. It's very, very, very tough for somebody with terminal cancer to talk about it openly without somebody saying, we all die sometime. Like, please don't say that. Well, you've got another 40 years. I don't, though. Like, I realize that that's a defense mechanism, and I realize that it's tough for people to talk about death. It's tough for people to talk about my reality. But when I've accepted it and I'm trying to be open, it's very difficult when that's what I get back, because I just end up closing up. And I'm so lucky to have Keith, because we can openly talk about things. The other day I said, you know, after I'm gone, are you going to sell the house? Or are you going to stay here? And like, we were out for dinner. Like, we could just have that conversation. We don't do that all the time. That's not the tone of this household. But I'm so lucky that he doesn't shut me up and, you know, not let me be scared. And so today my mind's kind of been scattered, and with not feeling well, I haven't really eaten. I tried some mashed potatoes because in chemo, that's what I managed to be able to stomach sometimes. And so I did choke some down, for whatever reason. I think just because they're bland, but they're also heavy. So they kind of give me the feeling that I've eaten something. I don't know. And so on these days where I try not to focus on being in chemo, whenever that is, I have had panic attacks in the past thinking about it, because it really was genuinely the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. I've told this story many times, but Keith and I got so used to me being sick. Another just sidebar. I went to a thing where they were kind of teaching us how to be volunteers, and a woman was up talking, and I don't know, she was trying to lead us and teach us how to volunteer in the cancer world. And she said she's never had cancer, but her uncle has. And I thought, well, okay. And then she said, you know, cancer or chemo's come a long way, and anti-nausea drugs are, you know, they're a lot better than they used to be. And I thought, it's maybe giving the wrong impression, especially from somebody who's never had cancer or been through chemo. Because, as I said, Keith and I got so good and so used to being sick all the time that there was one point where we were in a really tiny apartment, and our bathroom was so small. So I was sitting on the bathtub with my head over the toilet being sick, and he was brushing his teeth, and we were just talking about our plans for the day. And we just got used to it. That wasn't abnormal. It's just sometimes I flash back to that moment that how is this our reality? Like, that was at 26 years old, 27 years old. 26 years old. And to think that we got used to it. We got used to me having cancer, and then we thought that we were out of the woods, and here we are. So on days like today, I really try to, be kind to myself and not put pressure on myself to get out of these moments, because I have so many good moments in my life that when I feel like this, both physically, mentally, I'm actually pretty good today. Physically, I'm just kind of crappy, which can sometimes lead to mentally feeling pretty crappy. I just kind of let myself have these, but sometimes I do need a little help. And so I just want to show you, this is in the span of about 18 months to a year. I just want to show you what kind of people surround me. So these are cards and like greeting cards. I'll try to go up on top. My amazing pajamas, if you can see them. Greeting cards. This one is definitely a favorite. I'll show it in a second. Just everything. I'm just like they're I hope I did that well. I'll try to kind of do it again. I have Christmas toenails, if you've noticed. But I want to point out too, one, Emily McDowell she creates cards for people who are quite ill. And I've gotten a few of them, like, so awesome. You have to Google her. McDowell is, well, here, I'll just do this. I'll give her a shout out. I hope that shows up properly. I think it's backwards. Emily, Emily, McDowell, McDowell Studios. She's in LA. So this one says, I'm so sorry you're sick. Oh, I'll put it here. I'm so sorry you're sick. I want you to know that I will never try to sell you on some random treatment I read about on the internet. Amen. 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 I can't even express to you how many things, and it's always from people who have never had cancer. I have to say, it's always somebody's sister's, brother's, grandmother's hairstylist friend's daughter who was cured of a cancer that I don't have, and it was stage 1, and I don't know, she snorted cloves or something and she was cured. And I know people are trying to help. I get that. I know that. But you can't, like, it's dangerous. And the amount of people who have suggested things to me that when I've done my own research, because people, read one line and think, oh my God, turmeric's going to cure her. I have to tell her about this. And then, so they fire this email off this quick for them. And then I'm spent doing 6 hours of research going, oh my God, is turmeric going to save my life? Like, it's weird that my oncologist didn't tell me, but, maybe she's part of Big Pharma and she's, all that stuff is surrounding us. And if anybody wants to save my life, it's me. So my point is, then I go down the path of looking into turmeric, and I'm not saying turmeric is bad for you, but in my case, it actually does interact with one of the drugs I'm on. And I just think it's so dangerous when we're sitting there suggesting these things. Like, I don't know anything about any other cancers. So if something were to actually help for me, like, it's so dangerous for me as a cancer patient to say, hey, you have leukemia. Have you ever taken X, Y, and Z? I don't know if they can take that. I don't know what their diagnosis is or what their treatment is. And so please, 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 please don't suggest some internet treatment, because it's actually dangerous. It's not only excessively annoying, it's actually very dangerous. So next time you just think, oh my gosh, I can save somebody's life with this, just don't do it. Don't do it. Because please don't do it. And then inside, my friends wrote a whole bunch of great stuff, because I have great friends. And then one that is just, she knocks my socks off. A girl I met in high school, her name is Liz. She is one of the kindest souls I have ever met. My first surgery that I don't even remember telling anybody when it was. When I rolled into my room, there were flowers from her. And I hadn't spoken to her in a few years. And she's incredible. So one of the things that she did for me, I should have maybe gotten this ready before, is they're puzzle pieces, and on the back they're proverbs, they're there's like this says, we see ourselves in our friends, and it is a likeness that puts the heart at ease and fills the soul with joy. And then she wrote something. So I got 9 of these in the mail. And with the first one came a gift card, I think for $150 or $125, because I have such generous people around me. And then little things. I'd love to see you guys use this card for some time together doing something you enjoy. So out of that, she gave me a gift card. And then out of that, for Keith and I to go out for dinner or anything, go to a movie or rent a movie for $5 or, you know, whatever. Like, it would just take care of the cost. And on the 9th, I almost didn't want to get the 9th piece because it was over and it was so much fun. But now I have this puzzle that she took that, like, is that not incredible? Anyway, I'm going into 11 minutes. This is my longest gratitude video ever because I've obviously had a hard day. And I just want to thank everybody. And these cards, I read them and I cherish them and I keep them. And even if it's even if I cross your mind and you think, oh, I don't know what to do for her, or I don't want to bug her, please don't ever think you're bugging me. A text or an email or a phone call is not bugging me. I might not get back to you because I struggle sometimes, but please don't ever, that's not a thing. I don't want to bug her. You're never going to bug me ever. I just can't guarantee that I'll respond or reply or whatever it looks like. So, for the people who are around me, and, you know, even you don't have to buy a greeting card, but even, you know, send me a text or pop a handwritten I love you in the mail and send it to me kind of thing. It makes me feel so good and loved, and in this time of isolation, it makes me feel a lot less isolated. So today I'm grateful for so many of you and the kind of love and these keepsakes that I get to look back on days like today and remind myself that I am not alone.